Hello and welcome back to this week's video. This week we are having a very exciting conversation with a photo media artist named Liz O'Brien. We took a day trip out to her studio just out of town and got to talk to her about her practice and some advice she would give anybody starting out in the arts, particularly someone that uses photography as part of their art making practice. It's an amazing video, there's lots to talk about, so let's get straight into it. So I wanted to ask Liz about some of the recent work that she has been doing because I feel like you can learn a lot about an artist from their current set of works and some ideas that they are going through in their current practice at this time. So I wanted to ask about a show that had been going on just down the road in a gallery, quite a major regional art gallery. So an absolute congratulations to Liz. She has done an amazing job to get in and did extremely well in this show. Here's her talking about it now.
So that's for the Brenda Cloughton Memorial Travelling Scholarship. So it's all for local artists under the age of 30. So it's like, it is aimed at like emerging artists, but yeah, so pretty much the work I put into that series and like the scholarships to fund international travel, ironically enough this year. So the works I put into that were like mostly photographic pieces, and then also had an ink painting work in the series. And I was exploring sort of ideas of how like individuals respond to loss, distance, separation within different types of relationships. Particularly like in those works, I focused on like familial relationships, so like separation and loss through immigration. And then also separation of like romantic relationships. And it was all very much using landscapes and imagery of, you know, like the mountains and bodies of waters as was this continual theme of presenting that separation and that distance in the works. And yeah, so it was amalgamating analog photographs of my own and also family archive photographs and just different processes of presenting them, mixing in between that analog and also digital photography methods of either printing or image manipulation. Yeah, so they're the works I have on show at the moment. My little body of work was called Across the Plains We Reached. And yeah, I got awarded, highly commended for that series. Cheering.
So good.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked.
So I wanted to ask Liz what her main advice would be to herself in the past. I wanted to find out what someone who's getting further and further into their emerging artist career thinks about the early days and kind of unpack what she thinks that you should consider in your own work as you're working towards becoming both a better photographer and maybe even a photo media artist.
I don't know. I think it's just always important to, just always be actively trying to learn more about your practice, about other people's practice too, about how they, explore their conceptual concerns. I think it's also really important to, step back, think about, okay, what is it in my practice that what is the message I'm wanting to get across to my audiences? Why is it that I'm doing this practice? Why am I making these artworks? And I think starting out in the arts, definitely like take the time to explore different processes, different practices. Like I went to art school thinking, yeah, I'm a painter and I'm a drawer. That's what I do. And now, no. Complete opposite. It's all darkroom stuff. It's all photography, like installation stuff a little bit too. So yeah, definitely be open to really pushing yourself in terms of trying new practices. I think that was something I've sort of noticed a little bit during art school was seeing other artists that were very decided on what they wanted to work in and not being too overly open to trying new techniques and new practices, and then seeing other artists that just take on anything, just be like, yes, let's explore this, let's work with this, let me learn all these new skills. It was interesting to see the difference in approach to studying new things. But I think, like, especially in like contemporary times, art world at the moment, I think, can be such an incredible tool for educating each other on different things going on in the world, and also helping people realize how they are reacting to things that are happening in the world. And I really do think that the visual arts can have such a crucial role in bringing to light important issues, whether that's on a global scale or just a local level. I think it's really important for people pursuing the arts to think about, okay, well, what is it that you're presenting to your audiences? You know, what kind of meaning and depth can you give to your works? You know, why is it that you are pursuing the arts? Like, you know, I think I would like to hope that people really give that a lot of time and thought, sort of what it is they're trying to present in their works conceptually. I think that's just as important as the practical side. So that was something that's going into art school and like further studying different art movements, different artists, that was something I was like, like the arts can do a lot of good for the world, can really bring people together, it can really break down a lot of boundaries, really present new perspectives and challenge old perspectives as well. So that's something I hope a lot of people going into the arts can utilise.
This conversation with Liz was so much bigger than what you've seen here. There's some more stuff that I could share with you guys in the future. However, this is all that I wanted to share today. It was really insightful having that conversation with Liz. She was super knowledgeable about what she does and other artists in the area. It is amazing to have that conversation with someone who uses photography as such a major part of their art making and their process. And with those words of advice and how she finished that statement just there, I mean, it's powerful stuff. Art can be used to change much of the world and do so much good, and the power is in our hands to create things that can push change and movements that push change. So be considerate of that, and even try and be conscious of it when you're making work sometimes. Thank you for watching this video. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. If you want to see more content like this, I put a video out every week, so do hit subscribe just to keep up to date with anything that's coming out. And if you've liked this video, please hit like. And that's all. Cheers.